What's going on, folks? Blitzball Champ here for another video here on YouTube. First off, I want to apologize because this one was kind of late, but it's another recap video. So, this is a recap of week 6 of the Carolina Panthers NFL season. Um, Once again, another loss. And the loss was to the New Orleans Saints by a score of 41-38, which puts Carolina now at 0-3 in the NFC South. Yeah, this game really got out of hand too early. The Saints were up by as much as 21-0 before Carolina finally scored. Overall, looking at this game, Drew Brees had a field day with 4 touchdowns, throwing 465 yards. So he really had a field day all over this defense, which has been very, very suspect and very, very lacking, especially lacking of getting pressure on the quarterback and just the lacking of being able to cover anybody. I mean, it's just been really bad. I mean, if anything, a good positive note was, Cam had a decent game, 2 touchdowns. He did throw 1 pick, 322 yards. Jonathan Stewart had a pretty good game, and 19 carries, 85 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I mean, there were some sparks from the offense, especially considering they were able to come back and tie the game at 38-38. So, I mean, this was totally, a great chance for Carolina to pretty much pull off the biggest comeback and win this game. But going down the last drive, which led to a New Orleans Saints field goal, defense couldn't stop anybody. So, honestly, if anything, just really the secondary and just not being able to get any pressure on the quarterback has just really been the downfall this year for the Carolina Panthers. And they're now 1-5. On paper, right now they have a bye week. Week 7 is their bye week. On paper, this looks very unlikely that Carolina will get back to the playoffs and win the division. But you do have to keep this in mind. The Chiefs were able to do it after starting 1-5, finishing with 10 straight wins and making it to the playoffs. So if the Chiefs can do it, the Panthers can do it. And I think they're still capable of doing that this season, but they have to win out. And honestly, I mean, the NFC South is still close. I mean, just, week 7, Atlanta lost and the Saints lost. Tampa Bay did win, but, I mean, it's still close in the NFC South and anything can happen, So, if anything, Carolina needs to win out. And, those 3 divisional games are very, very key. But even aside from that, they need to win out. That's the only chance they have of making to the playoffs. And honestly, I really don't see them winning the division this year. I think they may, have a opportunity to get a wild card. But as I said, they need to win out. They need to really, really win out. And the problem is, the rest of their schedule is tough. I mean, literally none of these remaining games are gimmies. None of these remaining 10 games are gimmies. I mean, check this out. You open back up after the bye week against the Cardinals, then you have the Rams, then the Chiefs, then the Saints, then the Raiders, Seahawks, Chargers, Redskins, Falcons, and then ending the season against the Buccaneers. And see, teams like, the Raiders, Seahawks, Redskins, Cardinals. I mean, they're doing well this season. And you also have to remember, like, Saints, Buccaneers, Falcons, all three of them have beaten Carolina. So really, none of these remaining games are gimmies. So they're going to have to really take each game one game at a time and just figure out ways to win games. Offensive line has to be on point. Hopefully Michael Oher will return as soon as possible. And just, offensive line needs to get healthy again. Let's see. Defense. The secondary has to show up. Yes, I know it's full of rookies, and I know it's plagued with injuries. Hopefully James Bradbury and Robert McClain can come back as soon as possible. But it's just, that's a damaged defensive secondary, plus the fact that it's loaded with rookies. And just, they need to get pressure on the quarterback. I don't think K'Wan Short has had a sack yet. And last season, I believe he had 11. So just, it's been rough. Defense has to show up. Offense, we saw some sparks from the offense, but they need to get healthy, especially the O-line. And Cam has to make better decisions with the ball. Has to make some runs. He needs to throw some shorter passes, let the receivers get some yards after the catch. Can't always go for the deep ball, and Shula has to do a better job on the play calling. Definitely has to do a better job on the play calling. There's no reason for this team, who still has a pretty decent running game, there's no reason for this team to be throwing the ball on 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 1, 1st and goal at the 1 yard line or 2 yard line. Run the ball. Run the ball. Trust your O-line and trust your running backs to get those easy yards. So just have to do better play calling. Penalties. They need to cut the penalties. They've had too many penalties, so they need to cut penalties. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, it's not 100% over, but it's darn close. And the only chance Carolina has of turning this entire season around, they need to win out. Like, there can't be any room for error coming out of this bye week. So, anyway, that's all that I have. As I said before, Carolina has the bye week for week 7. They're 1-5, 0-3 in the NFC South. So, here's hoping that they can turn it around and get back to the playoffs. The Chiefs have done it before, so why can't they? Anyway, Blitzball Champ out of here. See y'all next time.